From the Weather NorCal Command Center, this is your evening update.
As you know, there's a 24-hour streaming channel here, Weather NorCal, and there's a lot of great ways to access it. You can get it from the free Weather NorCal app. You can get it on the YouTube channel. Just search for Weather NorCal. You can also get it on Roku, Amazon Fire Stick. How cool is that, right? All you got to do is download the app for Roku and Fire Stick. And if you have a smart TV with YouTube, you can watch it on your TV there from YouTube as well. So a lot of great ways to access the 24-hour streaming channel, and it's just a great resource in general. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at your weather headlines. Now, the thunderstorm chances are going to be tonight and through the day tomorrow. As we go into Sunday, I think the chances will start to diminish. Some of the main concerns will be dry lightning and gusty, erratic winds coming from those thunderstorms, which, of course, can create problems from the current fires, right? We also have that monsoon moisture. That monsoon moisture is the source for these thunderstorms, but it will be moving out by Sunday, and we'll just be talking about the hot and dry conditions once again. And it's returned. You may have noticed those hot conditions, right? And it's going to stick around for a while. The typical summer heat, it's going to stick around through the end of next week. No big upticks, no big downward trends, just your typical 100 plus degree temperatures. Here's your neighborhood forecast for tomorrow at a glance, and yeah, there is the chance for thunderstorms here. Now, we could see some activity late tonight, early tomorrow morning for the valley, but otherwise should be dry in the afternoon. And the north coast, late tonight, early tomorrow morning, maybe some showers, otherwise dry for tomorrow afternoon as well. Once again, right around 100 degrees for both the valley and for Trinity County. Now, with the rain and the thunderstorms in the forecast, I think the smoke forecast is going to change pretty quickly here from forecast run to forecast run, because it's all going to depend on where the rain is, the works. The bottom line is, it looks like we're going to see most of the smoke around the vicinity of the fire, and then it may push a little bit to the east, maybe a little bit more to the north. So it looks like for tomorrow, 5 p.m., at least at this point, looks like it'd be another smoky afternoon and evening for Chester. And that'll probably be the case going into Saturday night as well. Now the winds, things get a little tricky here as well. But it looks like tonight, winds still a little breezy, borderline gusty, as we see the weak disturbance begin to pass on through. As that disturbance passes through, the winds will pick up. Now, we may see them drop down again here for tomorrow morning before picking back up and getting pretty gusty at times, even around the vicinity of the fire here for tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow evening. As we go into Sunday, even though the main disturbance is out of here, we're still going to be looking at a gusty day for your Sunday. That includes the valley and many of the higher elevations, and of course, not to mention in and around the vicinity of the fire as well. So let's take a look at the humidity levels. As we go into tomorrow, humidity levels will be higher. That's because the monsoon moisture is in place. We've got the showers and thunderstorms developing here, and you can see upper teens, even some low 20s as you head down closer to the fire, and of course, not to mention even much higher than that as we head off into the eastern mountains. Now, as we go into Sunday, well, the monsoon moisture is beginning to move out. So as a result, we'll start to see our humidity levels begin to drop as well. So with that monsoon moisture moving in, there are a few things that I'm watching for tonight through Saturday. And that's the gusty, erratic outflow winds that you can get from thunderstorms. See, if you have a thunderstorm develop over the actual fire, the rain is good, but the winds associated with that, not so great. If you have a thunderstorm develop near the fire, but it doesn't rain on the fire, then you've got those gusty, erratic winds, and that's all they get out of it, right? I'm also concerned about the potential for dry lightning. Okay, so sure, I'm talking about heavy rainfall with these thunderstorms, but lightning strikes can go outside of where that main rain core is, and you get those dry lightning strikes as a result. So really, this time of the year, anytime we have thunderstorms, we've got to watch that potential for dry lightning. Now, we also have the potential for strong to severe thunderstorms. So just setting aside the fact that we've got the fires out there and we got the potential for more lightning sparked fires, we got to just think about our own personal safety. Because with severe thunderstorms, you're talking about hail, you're talking about frequent lightning, you're talking about damaging winds, you're talking about the potential for hail, right? So all of those things are things we have to take into account with these thunderstorms that could pose a threat to our overall safety in general. All right, so we take a look at now the fire potential and it's the lightning strikes, right? So for Saturday, all the areas in red is where we have the potential for lightning strikes. That doesn't mean every place is going to see it, but we may start hearing about, as we go into Saturday evening, into Sunday, we may start hearing about lightning sparked fires. So for tomorrow, this area in green is where we have the best chances for thunderstorms. Sunday, Storm Prediction Center is still holding with the fact that we may see some more thunderstorms for the areas in green here. Quite honestly, I don't know if that's going to happen. I think we'll, for the most part, be looking at thunderstorm-free day on Sunday, but we can't rule out maybe a stray shower or even a stray thunderstorm on Sunday. But the bulk of the activity, the main event, will be tonight and through the day on Saturday. All right, so let's take a look at Futurecast. We're going to walk you through the timing of all this in great detail. We're going to stop it here hour by hour. All right, so here's 10 o'clock tonight. Now, we're beginning to see kind of the beginning phases here this evening and tonight. We're starting to saturate the atmosphere, more clouds moving in, and some showers. And the winds also beginning to pick up as well as the main disturbance associated with all this begins to move through as well. So sure, we've got a little bit of rainfall here, but most likely it'll be in the form of sprinkles, maybe some light showers. And that will include the valley. And of course, over the fire as well, right? But overall, this is not going to be a big rain producer at this point. Now I'm going to take you to about 3 o'clock in the morning. As the main disturbance begins to push through, right about here, we've got thunderstorms beginning to try to develop here outside, just north and west of the valley. But we're still seeing some light showers in the valley, but nothing significant. So we could at this point be looking at thunderstorms and lightning strikes associated with this band of rain right here. Otherwise, it'll just be in the form of some good rainfall, healthy rain, maybe some gusty winds at times, but overall just some decent rain coming out of it and possibly no lightning strikes at this point. Now the wind's still not that terribly strong around the vicinity of the park fire because we're not really most likely seeing thunderstorms at this point for that area. Now as we go into Saturday morning at 6 a.m., we're still seeing the potential for lightning strikes here. But check out parts of the valley. We're still seeing some rain in there. So as we go overnight tonight and early tomorrow morning, I think we'll see periods of some sprinkles and light showers, and in some cases for the valley, if it's saturated enough and the cell is strong enough, you could see some moderate rainfall come out of it. Now, is it entirely out of the question for a lightning strike or some thunderstorms in the valley? Certainly not, but I think most of them at this point will be in the higher elevations. Now we're going to take you into about the noon hour on Saturday. All right, this is where things get a little bit more interesting because now we've got the potential for more thunderstorms beginning to develop. This is the beginning phases. This is when we start to see better chances for thunderstorms begin to develop as we go into the afternoon hours on Saturday. So, should we start seeing thunderstorms around the vicinity of the park fire? Now you've got those erratic winds that are going to create problems. But you've also got the potential for lightning strikes going outside. That means the potential for new fire starts because of dry lightning. But on top of that, you're talking about some heavy rainfall. Sometimes when these storms kind of stall out or move very slowly, you've got the potential for flash flooding. And not to mention that hail and frequent lightning and gusty winds. Now as we go through the afternoon, what I'm beginning to see happen is that the monsoon moisture is beginning to kind of push itself to the north and east. So as a result, we start to see the bulk of the activity develop to the northeast portions of the state. And we see less and less activity as you start heading to the south and west. So there still is a potential for some thunderstorms near the park fire, and that, of course, is again a problem with the gusty erratic winds, but most of it looks to be to the north and east. However, you can see northern Trinity County, western Siskiyou County, still looking at the potential for thunderstorms at 4 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. As we start going to the evening and overnight hours, here's 8 o'clock Saturday night. Now it's beginning to dry out for most areas with the exception of the north into Siskiyou County and Modoc County. And then as we get just before or right around midnight Saturday night, it's drying out. All right, now I'm just going to advance this all the way through Sunday. Here's Sunday morning, Sunday noon, Sunday afternoon. Now the main thing I want you to take note is you see the couple of cumulus clouds developing. I've seen this before on this particular forecast model where it will show those clouds a couple of days out but not really indicate that there's going to be some thunderstorms. So with that said, we can't rule out a stray thunderstorm as we go into Sunday afternoon, but they won't be as severe, they won't be as strong, but we still have that potential for dry lightning strikes. And I think that's why the Storm Prediction Center has kind of included that for Sunday, because there may be just enough leftover moisture. But for the most part, Sunday not nearly as active as what we're going to see here for tomorrow. And still some pretty strong winds coming in from the south, which will impact the fires. All right, let's switch gears and talk about the heat. We're going to be looking at the typical summer heat here for the weekend and through next week into the end of, we're looking at Saturday, August 10th, by the way. So the ridge of high pressure, yeah, it gets a little bit weaker by the end of next week into that next weekend, but it's still going to be pretty hot. Temperature's still around or even just above normal. You take a look at the trend here for the next 10 days for Redding in particular, up and down, up and down, up and down, right? And then towards the end of the week, it's kind of hovering around normal for this time of the year. So again, typical summer heat heading our way for really as far as the eye can see at this point. Now we look at the wave heights, and yeah, they're beginning to increase a little bit here, but nothing to be too terribly alarmed about. You're getting upwards of that 6 to even 7 foot range, but again, nothing alarming. So we look at your marine forecast. Northwest winds at about 5 to 10 knots, waves from the northwest at 3 feet at 5 seconds, and from the northwest at 2 feet at 9 seconds. And of course, no advisories in the forecast. I still think we'll see some patchy fog out there, but probably not as dense as it has been. Now overnight tonight, we still have that warmer air in place. And the clouds are also moving in, so that'll help to keep those temperatures up. So temperatures tonight, tomorrow morning, mid to upper 70s. So it's going to be a warm night in store for us. I mean, even in the mountains, you're looking at some 60s and even some upper 50s in there, mid 50s out along the coast. All right, so let's take a look at your Trinity County neighborhood forecast. Now, looking at temperatures mainly in the upper 90s to about 100 degrees. You've got the chance for thunderstorms through the day on Saturday, and then on Sunday, for the most part, I'm expecting dry conditions, hot and dry through next week. Here's a look at your North Coast neighborhood forecast, and you can see those temperatures in the mid-60s for the coast, give or take. Temperatures are going to be in the 90s. Now, here's the thing. I think tonight, early tomorrow morning, yeah, maybe some showers on the coast, and maybe some showers tonight, tomorrow morning for the inland areas as well. But I think the bulk of any activity is going to be the east of Del Norte and Humboldt counties here with this system. Here you can see your Siskiyou County neighborhood forecast, 103 for Happy Camp, 98 degrees for Wairika, 93 in Weed. There's that chance for thunderstorms as we take you through the day on Saturday. Modoc County, thunderstorms tomorrow afternoon, 91 degrees for Tule Lake, 91 for Calpines, and there you can see Cedarville, about 88 degrees. And how about the Eastern Mountains? Also the chance for thunderstorms tomorrow afternoon with temperatures in the 80s and 90s for your daytime highs. Here's a look at your Valley neighborhood forecast with your temperatures getting close to, if not right around 100 degrees. Corning about 99, 100 out towards Los Molinos, Chico a high of 101. We take you up to the north, Redding about 102, 100 for Lakehead, 96 for Whiskeytown, and for the Valley, I think you'll see some stray sprinkles, light showers, maybe even a moderate shower here and there as we go into the overnight and early morning hours. Stray thunderstorm, not entirely out of the question. So when you look at that 7-day forecast, this is where watching your forecast from Weather NorCal and from me is important, because we can put things into better context when we look at that 7-day forecast. Because at first glance, without any context, you're like, oh, it's going to be dry. But again, the day on Saturday will be dry, but maybe early Saturday morning, maybe a few light showers. And then of course we keep those temperatures basically between 100 and 105 degrees here for the next 7 days. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great night. And of course, meteorologist Brian Wilson will have your updates throughout the weekend.
We're the locals down the street. The neighbor you come to for advice. A nest egg for the golden years. A loan or a new account for that growing business. What started in Chico 50 years ago has taken us all around California, providing big bank lending power and high-tech service, while keeping our relationships personal. We're still the locals down the street. no matter where your street might be. Tri-Counties Bank, California's local bank.